got some pretty interesting news from the NBA, Mario. They're creating a new award called the Social Justice Champion, and they are naming the award after one of the NBA's all-time greats, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So basically, what this award is, it's pretty straightforward, Mario. Um, it's an award that will recognize a player who best embodies his striving for social justice and racial equality. So what's going to happen is all 30 NBA teams will nominate one player for the award, and the finalists will be selected by a seven-person committee. So basically, like every other award. Um, and the first winner of the championship award will be announced during the playoffs. They will win $100,000 from the league to donate to an organization of their choosing, and the four additional finalists will receive $25,000, which I think is pretty cool too. And Kareem actually spoke out about this. He said, and I quote, "It's nice to see the NBA try to promote social justice awareness, and I am very flattered that they would see fit to name the award after me. I know I have some history with this, so I'm happy the way it's worked out." And before I pass on to you, Mario, this article was written by Martenzi Johnson from ESPN's The Undefeated. So I'll let you start off first. What do you think the NBA creating a new award and naming it after the great Kareem?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I want to thank him for everything he has done in the past because he was a big, big part of the civil rights movement regarding athletes. There was him and there was Bill Russell in the NBA. When you go to baseball, there was Willie Mays and there was Hank Aaron. But then when you go to the most notoriable one, in my opinion, it was Muhammad Ali. And then you go to football, it was Jim Brown. So there were so many guys, and then you go to the Olympics, and it was Tommy Smith and John Carlos. So there were so many guys that spread awareness to what was going on at the time, and which was there was social injustice going on at the time and racism, and they wanted to put an end to that. And I think they did a pretty good job because of them, they were big parts of the reason why change was being made, and for the better at that. Here's the thing, though, Nate, and what I'm about to say, people are gonna misconstrue it, but I will explain it. Okay, I don't think the reason why I don't think there should be an award is because I believe people should be doing the right things because they want to. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, um, Tommy Smith, John Carlos, Jim Brown. They did all the things that they did because they wanted to, not because they were going to get an award. Now, regardless, there is awards, and I bet that does motivate people to go out and do the right things, so they can go win that award. However, the most notoriable figures during that time and throughout all time, the most notoriable figures who have done charity work for their community, who have stood up against social injustice and racism, they did it because they wanted to, not because there was an initiative. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you do something for an award, you're doing something and you're doing it for the cause, but there's a small part of you that's doing it for a selfish reason because you want that award, you know? But however, you could be doing it to make a change, and that's bigger than any award you can ever get. Martin Luther King, again, I always talk about him because he's a perfect example. One of the greatest civil rights activists of all time. Okay. He didn't get no awards. He got the notoriety, but he didn't get no awards. People understood how important he was to the civil rights movement, and to this day they still do. It's as simple as that. You want to go to others, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, trying to think, I know there's more. Frederick Douglass, all these guys that we learn about.
John Lewis. He
Right,
recently died, yeah.
right. All these guys who we talk about in history, they did it because they wanted to, not because there was an award involved, because they wanted to make a change. When you look at guys like Walter Payton and Roberto Clemente, who the awards are named after, they do what they do because they wanted to. They wanted to help their communities, they wanted to do good for the world. Okay, so that's what I feel like the whole aim right here should be. Let's go to LeBron James, even more recent. When he built the school for those kids, he really cared about it. It was something that he wanted to do. He didn't do it because there was going to be an award. He did it because he cared about those kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, the good thing about the award is it motivates people to make change. But it motivates them. I feel like for a small portion of them, it motivates them for the wrong reason because they're doing it to win that award. You know what I'm saying? When they should be doing it for the cause, to create change. You shouldn't create change to get an award. You should create change because you want to create change. It's as simple as that. Um, but again, if you're gonna name the award after somebody, it is right that you name it after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You could have did Bill Russell, but Bill Russell already has the NBA Finals MVP trophy named after him, so it wouldn't make any sense. to put two names on two different trophies, or the same name on two different trophies, excuse me. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a big factor. He was one of the biggest athletes that stood up against social injustice and racism, and he's still, and even today, he's still a big factor. People listen to what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has to say because he was one of the biggest civil rights activists as an athlete. He was there with the Muhammad Ali's and the Jim Browns and the Hank Aaron's and the Willie Mays and the I'm trying to think. I know there's more. The John
Jackie
Carlos.
Robinson was was around before he passed as well in the 70s.
Right, right. He was there with all those guys, especially the athletes, and he was part of that change. So I think it is best that you name it after him. However, I want to say this to people right now, okay? If you're going to create change, do it because you want to create change. It's as simple as that. Okay, you should be able to create change and do good in the world because you want to make the world a better place, not for something that is going to benefit you. The only benefit that you should be getting from creating change is that you know in yourself that you create change for the good. And it doesn't have to be anything big. You don't have to buy a school. You can, it could be as easy as something that's holding the door for somebody. It could be as easy as something as paying for somebody's like coffee or whatever. It could be just the little things in the life that could really make a big difference in somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? Giving a homeless dude some money, that could really help him as well. Um, it could be anything, but as long as you create change for the good, that's that feeling of pride and proudness in yourself, that should be good enough. But with that being said, I wish Kareem Abdul-Jabbar again the best of luck, and I want him to continue doing what he's been doing. No doubt about it, he's going to continue bringing awareness to certain issues. And best of luck to the NBA. The NBA has done so much regarding social justice and being equal and creating equality for everybody. And no doubt about it that they're going to continue it, especially with this award. So best of luck to them.
Right, absolutely. Best of luck to the NBA and Kareem, and I want to thank him for everything he's done for the community. Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I want to go back to the award thing. Um, and I do completely agree with everything you said about the award. But there's also another reason why I agree with it, and I don't think this is one you mentioned, but I know this is something that I mentioned before. I've taken a coaching class in college, and 'cause that's something I want to at least consider moving forward in my future, or something that I'm at least interested in. And one of the things that I learned is not only as a coach but as an athlete. You know what I mean? One of the one of the first things that you do, or at least take note of, is giving back to the community. 'Cause if it wasn't for the community, you wouldn't be where you're at right now. All these sports leagues are formed by a community. It's in the community. You know what I mean? It's supported by the community. So when you get in there, you go to school, you go to college, you play travel ball, whatever the case might be, and you get to the pros. You thank your friends, your family, your coaches for supporting you and doing what you can to be number one. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But you also thank the community as well. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for the community, you wouldn't be there. So that's why a lot of athletes give back to their communities, because had it not been for them, they wouldn't be where they're at right now. So that's one of the other reasons why I agree with what you said. But other than that, you're spot on. So with that being said, to anybody that helps out in the community, to give back to them, I salute you and best of luck to you guys. Best of luck to the NBA and Kareem. And yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward.